Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Game. Somebody to me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Far Beyond the World. So, you guys have been saying this next part coming up is gonna be really just like I guess the penultimate part so far. So, you guys are giving me some high expectations. So I guess we're just gonna jump right in and see how far this crazy train goes down the bottomless pit. All right, so let's go ahead and do it, guys. Go ahead and set alarm chain. Hey, alarm chain, you're up. All right, let's jump right in.
Right. Well, I figured we could wait for Dad a little while longer. After all, he works so very hard to provide for us.
Everything she says is so odd and surreal. It feels like I'm losing myself in this play pretend. I look to the generously loaded sandwich, seeing as a mixture of jam and peanut butter nearly drips down to the floor, and my stomach grumbles. Hold up, is her mouth twitching? I swear to God I saw her mouth twitching. I am quite hungry. Oh. But before I take a bite, a question occurs to me, and I blurt it out almost without even thinking. What does Dad do for a living?
I'm sorry?
The woman faces me, taken slightly aback. Work, Mom. As you know, my memory isn't so great. I poke my temple, still toying with the sandwich. I can see her eyes lock on my mouth, and she rubs her hands nervously, almost as if waiting for me to take a bite. Her ring is on the wrong finger, now that I think about it.
Mom, what does Dad do? Aren't you hungry?
She asks through an awkward smile, and I shake my head, putting down the PB&J. Whatever is in it, I will sooner starve than eat it. I'll wait. You work so hard on my favorites, I don't want to ruin my appetite.
Right, of course.
Her voice is now less chirpy. So, what does Dad do?
Your father does business. He's very successful.
Doesn't really look like it. I nod towards the middle-class-looking house. Hey, middle class ain't bad. So, what does he do exactly?
I just told you. Business.
She smiles again and returns to face the counter, chopping at some carrots energetically. But carrots don't go on pizza, unless we're in California. They'll put anything on a pizza there, but this place doesn't fit the bill. It doesn't fit any bill, now that I think about it. No, very much we're still not in Kansas. We're not anywhere, really, and my only chance of getting out is to break through the charade. Seeing that I have no other choice, I decide to push further and make this prisonscape unravel. Yeah, you said that, but what kind of business?
Business is business, as they say.
You don't know, then? A loud clang startles me, and she slams the knife against the board and turns to me with a less amused expression.
Dearie, let's just give your little games a rest for now,
She bobs the knife in my direction, I swallow nervously.
After all, you have more important things to worry about. School starts tomorrow, and you have much catching up to do.
Whoever this other mother is, she's trying desperately hard to keep up her facade, but the jig is up. Okay, no, enough. What is this? I ask calmly, causing her to face me once again. She puts away the knife, corrects her dress, and tidies up her hair almost as if remembering her part.
What happened, honey? Are you still feeling ill?
The woman tries to reach out to me, but I jump out of the way as if the floor were lava. Get away from me!
Let me just check your temperature.
I'm not fucking ill! I yell in anger.
Of course you are. I died. I know I did. Now I'm more certain of it than ever before.
I'm not dreaming, nor am I in a coma. I lived and I died, and now I live again. As crazy as it sounds, it makes more fucking sense than whatever this is meant to be.
This is your home,
she states matter-of-factly. This isn't real. You aren't real.
It's the medication. You're just confused.
I'm confused? I laugh out at the creature with utter contempt. If you think this shitty illusion is going to keep me here, you're mistaken. You might be able to fuck with my mind and fish there for some snippets of memories, but your clunky attempts at reconstructing anything even remotely realistic are laughable. Her face grows now more stern, yet she maintains the act.
Young mister, you do not speak to your mother like this. I worked very hard.
Stop, I demand calmly. You're not my mother, and this isn't my home.
Orien, you're breaking my heart.
She clasps at her chest in a last-ditch attempt to emotionally blackmail me, but I'm immune to her tears. You have none! You aren't real! I call out, taking another step back. School? Really? What sort of lunatic would send their child to school a day after they woke up from a coma?
Are you calling me a bad mother? Is that it? Your rebellious phase?
The woman continues, but I'm having none of it. She's acting like a game character whose dialogue options are glitching.
This is pathetic.
I'm not a damn teen. You're just throwing a bunch of buzzwords with absolutely no context to them. Just like this place. Bunch of generic shit thrown in together. I spread my arms with scornful laughter. It looks exactly like what an alien would come up with after browsing the internet for reference. Whatever you are not from my world, and whatever this is, it ends now.
Oh, it ends, does it?
Her voice turns unnaturally chilly. Finally, the game is over.
Such a clever little boy. You think you don't like me?
Oh, God! Well, oh look, it's Bone Mommy. I freeze up, watching her form darken, elongate and twist, just like the beldame. In fact, with her transformation, the entire house seems to warp onto itself. Yeesh. Her bony fingers gently pat the table, clicking as if they were made of glass, while she utters a frigid, otherworldly whisper. Its sound pierces my mind like 1,000 needles, and I barely contain a scream.
Well, wait until you see your father.
Despite a cold shiver running down my spine, I try to remain calm. I won't be afraid. This thing is clearly feeding on my memories and emotions. I won't see anything. I'm going back.
There's no running away, Orien.
She snickers, extending her bony fingers towards me to elicit some terror, but I'm long beyond that.
Just let Mommy take care of you. We wouldn't want to be disciplined, would we?
I had vulgar, snarling muzzle inches from my throat, and he was choking the life out of me. I was stabbed and then nearly killed by the chief. You think you're scary? You're reenacting a children's book.
Oh, but I feel your heart dance to my tune, boy.
You can't hurt me.
Can't I?
She smiles wickedly, accepting the challenge. Within a split second, the creature rushes at me, brushing the kitchen table out of the way as if it were nothing. I run as I've never run before, pushing myself from the walls to take a sharp left towards the bedroom. In the nick of time, I slam the door and turn the lock, just as she crashes into them with a considerable weight. I hear her bangs and wails as I slide to the floor. Fuck! Perhaps antagonizing that thing wasn't the best idea. You fucking think? I need to get out of here, but how? For a second, I think about throwing myself out the window, but if I die here, so do I die in real life? No, there's got to be another way. Naively, I just close my eyes and click my heels together. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your big bad wolf, too.
The monstrous screeches intensify and I begin to panic. Fuck! I need to get back. My heart spins out of control and I'm already hyperventilating. I'm in the grips of another panic attack. Oh my god, this is not the time for that! I yelp out as the door bounces with another bang.
Orien, come out, honey. It's time for your medicine, but this time there will be no spoonful of sugar to help it go down.
She scratches again. She scratches against the door with her clawed fingers and I cringe at the sound.
Come out, or I'll huff and I'll puff.
The creature is going to break in any moment. I try to calm myself down, but to no avail. I remember how Rannick managed to bring me down from a panic attack. Despite repeating the breathing exercises and squeezing my arms to mimic what he had done, it doesn't help. What I truly need is him. He was the one that calmed me. Wait, I need to follow my compass. Rannick is in my north. Rannick is my anchor.
With an anchor around a neck, the swimmers drown.
Ignore her. I need to get back down. I need to get back to him, back to the cabin. How do I get back?
Roar!
I can't roar right now. It would destroy my throat.
Roar!
The door bounces once again. This time, the hinge is audibly giving in as she issues an unnatural howl. I'm running out of time. Wait. Lavender!
What?
She stops momentarily, her attempted break-in, and with that one reaction, she gave away the key to my freedom. This is a dream, after all, not a place! I get up to my feet. I saw you manifest the flowers the moment I grew aware of their smell. It was a residual scent of the florets left in the cottage. That's why you removed it. No! She growls like a banshee, tracing her sharp fingernails against the door. But you didn't remove it. Not really. You made me think you did. No! She resumes her angered banging. Lavender. I need to focus on the scent of lavender. There it is! I can smell the sweet aroma once more, and the room begins to fade. No! The chirping of the birds reaches my ears, and her voice starts to fade away as well. No! The room grows darker until I'm surrounded by utter nothingness once again. You will not get away from me! The being issues a roar filled with utter hatred and anger, but it's all quickly washed away by a feeling of an unexplainable comfort. I smile as a slither of light pierces through the darkness, and I can hear this familiar sound of the forest intensify. I already have. Wake up. The body almost leaps at the chance to break free from slumber.
You cannot keep him hidden in the waking world forever.
At first I feel unsettled by that comment, but quickly the feeling of comfort returns. Wake up! Yep. Back home. The cold air rushes down my windpipe as I take a desperate inhale. I throw myself up, sitting in the bed completely startled, touching my entire body and patting the bedding beside me. Once I'm convinced enough that I'm back in the real world, I manage to calm down my erratic breathing. The bedding is soggy. I sweated a lot during my sleep. No wonder, I've spent the entire night locked in a mind game while physically enveloped by a furry wolf. Speaking of said wolf, Rennick's nowhere to be seen, and I immediately fear he has left without me. I look towards the open window, which allows the fresh air to come in and mingle with the lingering scent of lavender florets. Never thought I'd be so happy to smell lavender, but here we are. Judging by the light, I don't think Rennick has left yet. It's bright. Not bright enough for it to be too close to noon, but way past sunrise, that's for sure. I shudder suddenly, startled by a creaking sound coming from up above. It's followed by some clunking, and it's become clear someone's up there. Rennick? I call out to the kitchen, hoping the wolf is about, but to my surprise, his voice comes from the ceiling. Orien, you're up? Yeah. I mutter slightly choked up. I'm relieved to hear him. What are you doing? Getting stuff ready for our departure. We need gear for the trip. You should have woken me up. My voice might carry slightly more annoyance than it should as I scramble to get out of the bed. You slept like a rock. I didn't want to disturb you. Well, you still should have. In truth, I wish he had, but then again, he might have not been able to pull me out of the stupor, and then he'd be all panicked. Perhaps it's best this way. Do you need any help? I ask, quickly locating various pieces of my garment dotting the floor, a memento of our rather passionate evening. I blush, reminiscing how close we've gotten to. Not really, but I wouldn't mind some company. The wolf pushes me back to reality, and I shake my head. Not the time to be getting horny again. I'll be right there. I begin to put my clothes on hastily, and once I'm presentable, I step into the kitchen only to stop at the entry and face the ceiling once again. How do I get up? There's a ladder at the back of the cabin. Oh, okay. I step outside and take a free, deep inhale of the forest air, enjoying the view for what it's worth. The beauty of the spot on which he built his house is more apparent than ever before, especially now that I got out of the hellscape I was trapped in. I don't even consider talking about what happened tonight. What would I even say that wouldn't be immediately brushed off as just a bad dream? Or worse yet, if he actually believed me, he'd send me straight to Varissa for observation, and there would go our joint excursion. No, talking about this is not an option, not now at least. After all this pep talk about being self-reliant, so it would be dumb for me to unload this stuff on the unsuspecting wolf. Hey, so since we're dating, I need you to know that I'm possessed. I hope it's not a deal-breaker. I shake my head and snort at the mock-up confession. No. I'd much rather focus on being together and enjoying the time we have, especially since so far I'm having the upper hand and keep this stuff under control. Push comes to shove, I'll simply copy Varissa's markings, but for now, I'm here, free, taking in the glorious woods around me. I don't think I was ever this outdoorsy in my previous life, whatever it was, but this new experience grew on me unexpectedly quickly. Even you, Mr. Outhouse, you ain't that bad. Oh, talking to the outhouse, okay. I mumble towards the bushes. There are no outhouses, just bushes, you freaking knob. Behind which rests the rustic toilet. Might be the least pleasant part of this old-timey way of life, but still much better than whatever the fuck I was presented with tonight. As promised, I am greeted by a wobbly ladder scaling the back wall of the cottage and leading up towards a small door. I climb the pegs and squeeze myself in, wondering how on earth did Rannick manage to get through. At first, my eyes take some time to adjust to the dimly lit attic, but soon enough, I can see that it's a small space filled with lots of different stuff. Rennick's rested against the front wall, sitting beneath the only window and fiddling with a large piece of tawny brown cloth. What's up? My moondrop is up. He teases as I slowly crawl my way up towards him. I'm just making sure there aren't any tears. Last thing we need is getting wet on our journey. Yeah, I know my poor Fluff doesn't like water. Heh, it's actually more for your comfort than mine. I finally get to snuggle into his chest and ruffle the gray fur. Hey, what's this? The wolf's rather surprised at my forwardness, but I don't care. After all that happened throughout the night, I just need to be held by him and feel his warmth, smell his scent. Soon enough, my silent wish is granted, and he embraces me tightly, lifting my chin so that our gazes could meet. His kind green eyes look to me with love as he plants a quick lick across my lips. Slept well? Heh. I nearly choke at the absurdity of the question given the circumstance, but decide to simply shrug it off. So-so. I don't want to ruin the moment, nor to trouble him with whatever I'm going through. I'm getting more convinced this is not madness, but yeah, not the time for it at the moment. I simply pull away gently and look around the various gizmos littering the ground. Anything I can help with? Not really. I don't think you know where to start. Fair enough. I chuckle. So I'll just settle myself in this corner and get out of your way. Good boy. Hey, that compliment goes the other way around. I narrow my eyes teasingly, causing his tail to thump against the wooden floor. The attic is surprisingly busy for a wolf whose house looks rather Spartan. So, we're heading out, just the two of us? He smiles at me knowingly and narrows his brows. Indeed. We'll get some quality time together. What about your pack? They have a different task, with Tano leaving to find Delrin. My father called all able-bodied wolves to deliver howl summons. Vul left just before dawn. Oh, I respond rather mopey. I didn't get to wish him safe travels. Trust me, he was in no mood for talking. He nearly clocked me when I joked he's rushing off slowly to avoid bumping into Regera. Yeah, that one seems a rather sore spot for him. Serves him right. Rennick shrugs, ruffling the tent cloth. Ruffling the tent cloth. Blah! It's getting caught in my It's getting caught in my mouth. Rennick shrugs, ruffling the tent cloth to inspect another of the folds. He gets the taste of his own medicine. I'd even go as far to say Regera is much more tactful than he ever was with Varissa. I smile awkwardly. It doesn't take much to imagine how badly the Black Wolf butchers his attempts at wooing the female. I bet he's improving with time. He does with me. I flash my brows, drawing Rannick's curious gaze. I mean, at first his instinct was to kill me on sight, to the point you had to shield me. Now he only talks about killing me when he's annoyed. Vul's always annoyed. The wolf sneers in jest, and I chuckle. I suppose, but he's not always with me. I say with some sense of confidence, and the wolf simply nods in concession. Vul might direct his outbursts at me, but I get a feeling it's more out of a habit than genuine dislike. With a short lull in the conversation, I look around the attic once again. There's a bunch of odds and ends up here. With the idle hands, I decide to check the nearest box, only to find an assortment of different chisels and tools. A true carpenter, I see. Not a professional. He shrugs modestly. Just something to pass the time with. Each wolf has a hobby. Maybe, but I doubt many made their own furniture. You'd be surprised. The wolf smiles, reaching up for the corners of the tent and slowly beginning to fold it up. There's not much need for the stuff like that within the tribe, for anyone to make it their full-time profession, so we all just make do on our own. We don't even have a jeweler. The village smith has to do double as one. You mean Regera's father? Yeah. He sighs. Truth be told, she's been slowly taking over his work. The wolf is getting too old for that profession. I quickly touch the emblem on my collar, petting it slightly. I don't find anything wrong with your crest. It's lovely. You enjoy it? I smile reluctantly, looking towards the exit, as if I wanted to run away. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell if a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!